So now let's look at another way to measure the level of competition in one industry. So industry with low demand may imply few firms, meaning this industry is more concentrated. Industry with high demand may imply many firms, but this may not be always true. Let's go to, say, operating system. We have numerous demand of phones, and each phone needs an operating system, but they are leading by very few firms. It's kind of difficult for us to evaluate that. Then here we are looking at the elasticity of demand to help measure the level of concentration, namely the competitiveness of the market. So this index is named as the RothSchild index, from the famous RothSchild family. It measures the sensitivity to the price of a product group as a whole relative to the sensitivity of the quantity demanded of a single firm to a change in its price. What does that mean? Calculates this ratio, this fraction, this quotient. In this quotient, the top is the elasticity of the total industry. The bottom is the elasticity of the individual firm. If this quotient is closer to 1, that means the elasticity of the total industry is the same as the elasticity of the individual firm. Possibly this one firm is the industry. In that case, this industry is very concentrated, monopolized. The conclusion is if R is close to 1, the industry is more concentrated. If R is close to 0, that means the bottom, the numerator, is much bigger than the denominator, right? If the numerator is close to infinity, very elastic consumers, that indicates that for this individual firm, the consumer has a lot of alternatives. Market that is this individual firm faces is more elastic than the market of the total industry. Give you one example. We have a Sinclair gas station on the main street, close to KFC. That is one individual gas station. But for the entire gas industry, we know as consumer, gas is a necessity to us. So the numerator, which is elasticity of the total industry of gas, should be pretty small. But for this specific Sinclair gas station, even across the street, there is another one. There are numerous alternatives, right? People have a lot of alternatives. So if this Sinclair priced a little bit higher than its neighboring gas station, you may tend to another one. That means in that case, the denominator is much bigger than the numerator. So R is close to 0. In that case, this industry is more competitive. Sinclair is just one small firm out of numerous of other competitors. Here is an example of how to calculate this. The industry elasticity of demand for airline travel is -3, and the elasticity of demand for individual carrier is -4. What is the RothSchild index for the industry? You just calculate the quotient, and here is pretty close to 1. In essence, this airline industry is more concentrated. The elasticity that is this individual carrier faces is not too much big difference from elasticity for the entire industry. That means people actually don't have a lot of other alternative for airline travel other than this individual carrier. So that's how we utilize RothSchild index to measure the concentration level of an industry from the aspect of elasticity.